What's up, guys? Got some Algorand news here on Frugal BC today, talking Algorand Foundation kicking off a Web3 Startup Lab. Also, Algorand Foundation kicking off its own podcast. We're going to talk about that. Got some news from Realms, a metaverse being built on the Algorand blockchain. And do you want to be an Algorand intern? Well, today's your lucky day. We're going to talk about that and some news from Fractal Monsters. So guys, if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. My whole point here is to bring common sense into crypto and to try things out and see how they actually work and give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. By the way, we are also brought to you by non-fungible domains. Guys, if you want to get that .algo address, that's a lot easier to remember than all those letters and numbers. Go to non-fungible domains. Link in the description. They got vaults and segments, all kinds of good stuff. And we're brought to you by Fractal Monsters, a play-to-earn block game on the Algorand blockchain. You can get a free monster today just by going to Fractal Monsters. Check out both of our sponsors in the description. And now let's get to the show. So one of the first things I want to talk about, and I kind of talked about this on the live stream, Algorand Foundation kicking off their Web3 Startup Lab. I gotta say, this thing looks really cool, and clearly it's on a bigger thing called the T-Hub, but let's take a look here. Okay, so this comes from Algo Bharat, which Bharat means India, if you didn't know that. Last month, Algo Foundation kicked off the first ever Web3 Startup Lab at T-Hub. Yeah, it's actually called the T-Hub. I don't know what the HYD is. Anyway, it says it was such an exciting, inspiring moment in this budding relationship between the world's most scalable and sustainable blockchain technology and the world's largest innovation hub, and it's happening in the world's largest democracy. It's of course just one milestone, but a major one in our commitment to support developers building transformative blockchain solutions, move toward product, market, and investment readiness. The 20 startups selected for the Algorand Startup Lab span across the supply chain, healthcare, financial inclusion, agri-tech, sustainability, and Web3 infrastructure. Their founders are pioneering solutions that will help us realize the goal of a more inclusive economy. And by the way, how cool is this T-Hub? That is really neat. So they kind of gathered here in the corner there, but what a cool building. Imagine that's like your place of business. That's where you go every day. I mean, that's an office I wouldn't mind going to. It looks pretty cool. So nice to see that. I think when we talk about like building projects that have real impact, this is the kind of thing we're talking about. Speaking of launches, the Algorand Foundation launched its own podcast this last week, and I didn't get a chance to like really look at it too much, but let's take a look at this here. This is from the Algorand Foundation. The first episode of Verifiably Random is officially live. Janet Allen Woods talks about quantum. This is Min who's ecosystem growth on the foundation, discusses payments, and their new CMO, of the Algorand Foundation is going to be talking his game plan for the first 100 days as CMO. So we're definitely going to do some reaction videos to this probably later in the week. But you can watch it here on X, on YouTube, Spotify, pretty much everywhere that you want to get your podcast. You know, whether you want to watch the video version or you want to watch the audio version. I should probably just download the audio version. It'd probably be the easiest for me to listen to. Plus, I tend to listen to my podcasts on higher speeds. I found there's a good speed where it still sounds pretty much natural. I'm perpetually behind on my podcast, so that's a big win. Another one I want to cover this week, because I think this is really neat. Realms, which is spelled with an X. Website is ready. We're aiming for launch in around 7 to 12 days. Make sure you save your Nico so you can buy some closed trades for your 3D versions of your NFTs on our Nico only marketplace. This is a metaverse being built let's take a look at some of the pictures here. This is being built on the Algorand blockchain. This is a metaverse, virtual world, etc. Is this going to be a game built in here? This is really neat. So I want to give a short caveat that and I have to do this. I did receive some Nico from Realms, and I don't want to say how much, but it was more than I expected when they reached out. I thought it'd be like a few dollars worth or something, and it was quite a bit more. So I do want to disclose that, but I think a metaverse on Algorand is a very big deal. In fact, but I will say that this actually led to a policy. I'm not going to be accepting any more ASAs because I just thought they reached out. They didn't say how much they were going to send me, and it ended up being quite a bit. I was like, now I'm really uncomfortable. So yeah, from now on, my new policy is I don't accept any ASAs. That's going forward. I'm not going to send this back. I'll just accept it and I'll note it for future reference. And, if you decide, hey, I don't want to listen to you about Realms because you took some money from them, I totally understand. Don't blame me at all. I just want to see what people are. Marcus is very excited. That was fast. Congrats. People are pretty excited about it. I think it's cool. I do think that's something that's really cool. I wonder if it'll bring people over. If it's cool enough and there's kind of like a low barrier to entry in terms of getting in, which I assume because it's Algorand, there will be. I think this could actually be a really good thing for Algorand. But, I've learned to kind of have a wait and see approach and not really get too excited about these things until they're live. But it'll definitely be something worth checking out. And I guess I guess there's some ways you can like have a space on here early. I didn't really understand that. They reached out to me about sending the coin, but they didn't really like invite me to do any of that stuff. So I don't really know much about it. I like to come to these things similarly to how a user would, because I want to like evaluate it from a user's perspective and not like a special access perspective. So that's totally okay. Yeah, I guess if they're gonna give me the Nico, I might as well use it on here, right? So I think this is a big enough project. And there's nothing like it on Algorand right now that I know of. So we'll definitely be covering it. By the way, how would you like to be an intern? That's right. Algorand Foundation is, according to them, proud to support the next generation of blockchain talent. The global internship program is officially open. So it's open to all undergraduate and graduate students passionate about blockchain. You can apply to be an Algorand intern. Kind of is this a weird photo that they use for this? Like, it's like a lady looking at a hat. That seems like, I don't know why it strikes me as like a kind of a weird photo to use. Because wouldn't it be like someone looking at using a computer screen or something? I don't know. Let's see. And they're actually going to have an XSpace. So we're co-hosting an XSpace. Yeah, by the way, I still call it Twitter. I mean, the website's still twitter.com. So you punch in Twitter when you go to it. I can't get over X. It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, they're hosting a space with Algorand clubs. What is that? These are like thing for student-led Algorand clubs. So if you want a club in your... Anyway, to discuss all the opportunities in this year's internship program, April 19th, 2:30 GMT. It's like Mountain Time or something. Yeah, but they'll have that going, so that's cool. You can... learn more about being an intern if you're interested. And I think that'd be a cool opportunity. I don't know if it's like a paid internship or not. Because our paid internships usually run from June to August, or about 10 to 12 weeks. So I guess it is paid. I didn't really mention that elsewhere, but it says right here, are paid internships. So I guess maybe some of them aren't, some are. And some of the roles are remote internships, but otherwise others require you to come to the office. That's really interesting. It's be available a minimum of 30 hours a week. So that's like, that's like a job. Seems like with the internship, you'd want to be in person. Although I guess I've kind of in my day job, I'm kind of mentoring somebody, and it's kind of a mix. I'd say most of it is remote. So I guess that makes sense. Oh, that's interesting anyway. Last but not least, we got some news from Fractal Monsters, and they are a sponsor of the show, so keep that in mind. But are you a top tamer? With the recent addition of our tamer leveling system, we've also added a socials page in the game. View other online players, a leaderboard for the top 50 players, and a guilds panel. So I think the way this is worded, it sounds like you have to have a tamer to be, because it says top tamers. So you have to have a tamer NFT, which are more expensive than just the monsters. I bought a monster a while back so I could try it out, and yeah, it's a good game. It's so Fractal Monsters, like I really did a 180 on, and I think the reason I was skeptical at the time is because there were so many of these Web3 games, and especially my experience on Gala Games really colored this to a big degree. So many games that were like kind of built on a promise and a half-finished website, and maybe a half-finished playable level, and then they're selling you these really expensive NFTs. The fact that I had to buy an NFT to play, and it was like probably about $50 at the time. It seemed like really expensive to me to play a game, because there's no way you'd pay $50 just to play a web game. But I ended up getting one for about 20 some bucks on the secondary market, and I have to say, like they've really turned things around for me on this. I think they're one of the companies that are doing it right, and that's why I reached out to them about sponsorship. I only have these two because these are the only two I've really talked to about sponsorship, other than a brief Taco Coin thing, but he's got stuff to worry about. He's got a brand new restaurant open up, so we're focusing on, we're just sticking with fractal monsters and non-fungible domains. And I'd like to add like maybe one more. I don't want any more than that. Just one more sponsor maybe. I'm really, really careful. So the fact that I chose these guys should say a lot. That matters. Their trust matters. And I don't want to have a sponsor that I don't believe in, that I don't think is doing the right thing. And I think fractal monsters and I think non-fungible domains are doing the right thing. So that's my take. And it seems to be working out. I think they're playing the long game. They're doing the right stuff. They're doing well by their users. And I think to me, that's what really matters. So, all right. Well, that's it for this week. Some short news, but go check out that Algorand podcast. Like I said, I'm sure we will be doing some reaction content to maybe part of it in the future. Other than that, I'm Frugal BC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.